Hello, my name is Brown Wells. Today I will be presenting my final presentation on my research paper about happiness. In this slide, I'm introducing the concept of happiness. I'm explaining that everyone experiences happiness differently, but overall it means inner peace, joy, and satisfaction with life. Happiness is tied to feeling positive emotions, purpose, and freedom. Um, the true meaning, there are multiple meanings behind happiness, but the true meaning that I got from the website is the feeling of inner peace and a deep sense of joy and satisfaction with one's life. And it's just positive emotions all throughout. Historical and universal background. This slide explains that happiness is universal across all cultures and religions, and that anyone can experience um, the true definition of happiness, and that is the pleasurable content of the mind. And maybe some people haven't exactly experienced it all the way. It is a universal feeling, and it doesn't matter who you are or what you are, that person can feel this said emotion. Um, Historical event. For the historical meaning of happiness, especially how early Western and Christian traditions linked happiness to moral character and virtue. It wasn't always just seen as a definite emotion. It was more so seen as hope and a philosophical or religious idea, because around this time the Christians and the Westerns, they were suffering. The Western Christians, they were suffering an immense pain, and it just led the people to hope and beg and plead and and pray that there would be another day where they would have happiness, where they would have joy, where they would have better things going on. Pillars of happiness. Here in this slide, I'm discussing how happiness is used in different areas. For example, the first pillar is pursuit of happiness. Pursuit of happiness is where a person is trying their best to pursue happiness, going out of their way and chasing after the thrill of happiness and trying to obtain happiness. But happiness is something that you obtain, it's something that is within you. Another pillar of happiness is true meaning behind happiness. A lot of people them to seek the true meaning behind happiness, but instead of seeking, they should be feeling it within. And it kind of goes hand in hand with pursuit, because without pursuit and without trying to find the true meaning, it goes hand in hand, it correlates. Um, Interpersonal relationships. Interpersonal relationships is another pillar of happiness, because it stems and shows how people try their best to have these connection with people, and it makes them happy. For example, romantic relationships, platonic relationships between friends, um, family members. All of these are interpersonal relationships, and they help a person feel this sense of happiness when they're with these people. These ideas act as pillars that help people find real bliss, purpose, and mental clarity, which all connect back to the deeper meaning of happiness. Misconceptions about happiness. This slide covers what happiness is not. Um, I explained that negative emotions like sadness, frustration, or depression are not versions of happiness. I also talk about how society often confuses happiness with things like marriage or temporary highs. Many people also mix up happiness with meaningfulness and believe happiness alone will fix everything, which leads to common misunderstandings. Um, because happiness is a temporary emotion, and people think that happiness should be permanent, but they constantly misinterpret the definition of happiness, and think it's about meaningfulness. That's what they are trying to convey. But because happiness is more so a short-term emotion, and it's something that you're not confused about, It's something that is positive. It's something that's in the moment, but it's worth it, and it's a wonderful emotion to feel. You don't feel any negative way about people. You don't feel any way about it at all. Happiness versus meaningfulness. In this slide, I compare happiness and meaningfulness using a Venn diagram. Happiness is more about feeling good in the moment, while meaningfulness is long term and comes from giving to others and having purpose. Even though they're different, the two rely on each other. You can't have real happiness without meaningfulness, and vice versa, because both work together to create real fulfillment. Happiness is present in the moment. It's a short-term emotion, feeling positive emotions, and a state of joy and satisfaction. Meaningfulness is a long-term emotion. Um, Stems from giving towards others, requires having a purpose, and deeper fulfillment rather than momentary pleasure. They both are what people pursue in a drive for majority of people. They cannot exist without the other. They're correlated and interconnected, and they both contribute to emotional clarity and fulfillment. Conclusion and summary. In this final slide, I summarize that happiness is a mix of joy, emotional peace, and long-term fulfillment. It's more than temporary feelings. It's something built from within. Understanding this helps us avoid myths about happiness and focus more on emotional well-being and personal growth. True happiness comes from purpose, balance, and knowing yourself. Because people are so used to thinking that happiness is something that you are given or that you take, but rather it's something that has been inside you, because you can be happy about anything, or happiness can stem from anything. Just being happy that the sky is blue or the sun is out. That can stem from happiness. And the more that people understand that happiness is power and that happiness can drive other people to be happy, that is a meaningful way. It helps people come together, and it helps even your long-term emotions come together as well. These are the sources that I used for my presentation. Thank you so much for watching, and have a good day.